Hey players, it's time to grab your tea and have a seat. Let's discuss politics, crime, celebrity gossip, investigative reporting. Welcome to The Real Tea with Double D on GSMC Podcasting Network, where I am black and the news is always petty as hell, but it's accurate.
Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Of course, I am Double D and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode. Listen, when I tell you it's been a day, honey. And I know for one person in this world, baby, it's not been a very good day. In fact, it's been a hot boo-boo shitty mess. You hear me? In fact, it's been a hot boo-boo shitty mess for this person for this entire week. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. I know for old Double D, I hadn't been feeling very good. I was feeling under the weather. Some of y'all don't know Double D, but a lot of y'all been knowing me for a couple of years and know whenever this weather come around, Double D starts sounding like start losing her voice a lot. This weather change and the way my sinuses are set up and the way my doctors are set up with not giving me anything that is sufficient other than to have this shit draining where it don't supposed to be draining and messing up my vocal cords. Y'all just got to get used to this in the winter months, honey, because this happens to me quite frequently. I sound like I'm always coughing and hacking and all that kind of stuff, and that's likely the truth, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't got to worry about that, okay? So y'all just bear with me and know that Double D loves y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all for worrying about me. But I am A-okay. If I wasn't okay, Double D will let you know. And also, you wouldn't see Double D as much because Double D definitely knows how to take breaks and take care of herself. I'm so excited to see everybody here out there at Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok world. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate y'all for coming back every week. And also thank everybody out there in podcasting world for downloading and listening every week. About 20,000 of you guys come back and listen to me every single week, and I really appreciate y'all. Whether y'all are on a ride in the car or y'all at home cleaning up on a Saturday morning and y'all decide to listen to Double D, hey, it is really, really appreciated. Because Double D didn't think this would take off like this, but I really do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Now listen, baby, I got some shenanigans for y'all tonight. But of course, I got to thank y'all out there in TikTok and Facebook world. If you guys decide to send me any stars, I appreciate it. Out there in TikTok world, if y'all send me any roses, any kind of gifts, I really appreciate y'all. It is not an obligation to do that. However, I do appreciate it when you do send me those things. Now, honey, baby. Oh, wait. Let me backpedal and push the pop real quick. I ain't said that for a while. Sponsor for the night is the BlackAccurateNews.com. If you guys want to support the Black Accurate News, make sure you scurry on over to the BlackAccurateNews.com. Check out some merch. That's how we keep this going by having you guys make your purchases through purchasing merch and things like that. And also watching and supporting the content. Make sure you're following me on my TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. If you're over there watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and thumbs up that video. Same things on Facebook. Make sure you guys like that video. I really appreciate it. And also out there in podcasting world, leave a review if you have not already. All right, honey. Now we got those pleasantries out the way. That's 3 minutes of stuff that I got to do to make sure this thing keeps going. All right, players, grab them teacups, baby, because this tea right here, the first up, is so piping hot. Players. Now look, I know y'all done seen my videos on Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. I know that y'all have seen my videos on Frumpy Dump. However, big baby, I still had to come on here and talk about how Frumpy Dump does slid down a razor blade and landed in an alcohol river. Because baby, I told y'all in 2020, anybody that has been following me on TikTok since 2020, they know that I have told you guys that Frumpy Dump is really going to regret running for president. He's going to regret the presidency for one reason and one reason only, because all of these investigations, everything that he's been able to skirt around, he was able to do that for years before he was president. Now the fact that he is former twice impeached president, baby, they coming for the juggler. They coming for that ass, baby. And the first one up on the agenda to take care of that is Attorney General Letitia James. She said, baby, I done spent 3 years on this, honey, in the criminal justice system. Frumpy Dump thought he'd get away with crimes. But in New York, there's an attorney general by the name of Letitia James. And this is her story. Bum bum. Baby, Attorney General Letitia James came out there looking like the beautiful melanated guy that she is, standing up there at that podium. I don't know how tall Attorney General Letitia James, but she scares me, honey, because she's tall as I don't know what. You know what? As a paralegal, I would be scared to work in her office because she just looks like when she walks through that Law and Order music is playing. Dun 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 dun. Don't she, y'all? She just gives off that vibe like look. I'm an authoritative person. I'm gonna go ahead and take charge of this. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing done. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And she also looks like she's not scared of anything. She speaks with such confidence. And I'm so proud of this queen, 100%. So she steps up to the podium, honey. She's now, yesterday they had been talking about there was some type of special announcement that Attorney General Letitia James had for today. Now, if you know New York law, you would know that she wasn't talking about any type of criminal charges against Frumpy to the motherfucking dump, because of the fact that New York has uh, a law or something. I guess you would say it's a law in the books where attorney generals cannot launch a criminal investigation into anyone without the approval of the governor. So I don't know if Kathy Hochul would agree to something like that, but we knew when this came out yesterday that it wasn't going to be something of the criminal nature, even though she has referred this case over to the Manhattan District Attorney. So we knew it wasn't that, honey, but we was all on the edge of our seats waiting to see what was going to come out of Washington Rancher. What was she going to say? Baby, when she stepped up to that podium and said $250 million, I had to clutch my invisible damn pearls. I said, not $250 million, Letitia. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, big baby, I was excited as a flea on a dog's ass. I was like, okay, baby. She said she going to hit him when it hurts. I ain't going to hit you a little bit. I'm gonna hit you a lot of bit. So let's take a listen to what Attorney General Letitia James had to say, and then we're gonna go ahead and break down some of the case of what Attorney General Letitia James is actually saying in her lawsuit against Frumpy to the motherfucking up.
Following a comprehensive 3-year investigation by my office, including witnesses, interviews with more than 65 witnesses, and review of millions of documents that were submitted by Mr. Trump and others, I am announcing that today we are filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump for violating the law as part of his efforts to generate profits for himself, his family, and his company. The complaint demonstrates that Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and to cheat the system, thereby cheating all of us.
Baby, when she said cheating all of us, I'm gonna go ahead and say I actually love that. And you know, the title of this podcast episode is "It's the Art of the Steal." That was actually what Attorney General Letitia James tweeted. She Frumpy Dump's book is called The Art of the Deal. And so she called it The Art of the Steal. Baby, when I tell you that woman is the best, that woman is the best, honey. I just love her. So this is in a more than 200-page lawsuit. In fact, it was 222 pages to be exact. Attorney General Letitia James alleges the fraud touched all aspects of Frumpy Dump's business, including his properties and golf course. According to golf courses, excuse me, that's what's an S. According to the lawsuit, the Frumpy Dump organization deceived lenders, insurers, tax authorities by inflating the value of its properties using misleading appraisals. Attorney General Letitia James said the conduct cannot be brushed aside and dismissed as some sort of good faith mistake because, again, this fraud, according to this lawsuit by Letitia James, went over the span of 20 years. This is a Bernie Madoff type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, this is some Bernie Madoff type shit. And the only thing that Frumpy Dump has that he wants to say back is, oh, well, I paid the debts. Just because you paid it doesn't mean you didn't steal it, my guy. Just because you paid it. And honestly, did you really pay it? Because how many times have you filed bankruptcy? You don't want to go there now, do you, Frump? I declare. What a disgrace. So, in the lawsuit, she says the statements of financial condition were greatly exaggerated, grossly inflated, objectively false, and therefore fraudulent and illegal. And as a result of that, we are seeking relief from Frumpy Dump, the Frumpy Dump organization, and his family. So she filed this lawsuit against Frumpy Dump, his children, Frumpy Dump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump. I see Tiffany Trump ain't in there. Alan Weisselberg, who was the former CEO of Frumpy Dump Organization, and Jeff McConey, another longtime company executive uh, of the Frumpy Dump Organization. Letitia James says she believes the state and criminal laws may have been violated, and they will be referred to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, and the I to the R to the S. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So she continues by saying these acts of fraud and misrepresentation were similar in nature, were committed by upper management at the Frumpy Dump organization as a part of a common endeavor for each annual statement, and were approved at the highest levels of the Frumpy Dump organization. I declare. So, as a part of the lawsuit, uh, she's seeking $250 million, and she's also seeking for Frumpy Dump to not be able to buy any commercial property in the state of New York for at least 5 years. And she also wants to permanently bar Frumpy Dump and his children from serving as director of business register in the New York state. She is also seeking to cancel the Frumpy Dump organization's corporate certificate, which, if granted by the judge, could effectively force the company to cease operations in New York State. You know what they're going to do, though? They're going to take that shit straight on over to ratchet ass Florida. Sorry, I took that from Lovely T. Ratchet ass Florida. That's what she going to take it to. So, Frumpy Dump's attorneys have, let's not get to that one yet. So this is an example of what she's saying that Frumpy Dump did. According to Letitia James, okay, Frumpy Dump would take something like Mar-a-Lago perhaps. And he said that Mar-a-Lago was valued at around $739 million. Even though, and it was actually appraised at that amount, according to Frumpy to the motherfucking Dump. So even though it was only worth about $75 million. Frumpy Dump would take this inflated amount, and then he would go and borrow money from all these banks. I know y'all remember when they actually questioned Deutsche Bank in relation to this. That I think that bank is in Switzerland or something like that. I can't exactly remember. But Deutsche Bank was one of the banks, and also another bank, I think is Signature, that that was that was questioned, was deposed as a part of this investigation by Attorney General Letitia James. She also said that, let's talk about his apartments. She said Frumpy Dump represented that his apartment spanned more than 30,000 square feet, which was the basis for valuing the apartment. In reality, the apartment area had less than 11,000 square feet. And then based on the inflated square footage, the value of the apartment in 2015 and in 2016 was $327 million. To this day, no apartment in New York City has ever sold for close to that amount. So, I mean, this was all a part of the con, baby. This was a part of the con. Frumpy to the motherfucking Dump is a hot boo boo shitty mess, and he really thought that he was gonna get away with this thing. So we know that Weisselberg, his former CFO, has already pled guilty to his role in the to his role in the scheme. So we're gonna see what kind of money he gonna come up with in this. But baby, this is a hot boo boo shitty mess. And we already know that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has been conducting a criminal investigation into the Frumpy Dump organization, but has yet to bring any charges and former prosecutors have cast doubt that they would ever happen. So hopefully with Attorney General Letitia James referring this to somewhere else, maybe there might be some leeway in that regard. Uh, it's a shit show. It's a shit show. She said that Eric Trump and Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump, Frumpy Dump Jr. Knowingly participated in the alleged fraudulent schemes. Um, they actually were required to participate in this fraud, and they were aware of the true financial performance of the actual company. Baby, Frumpy Dump, your goose is cooked, big baby, and you look like your goose is cooked. You look a little scared. That's from the night. You look a little dumb. You looking a little he looking a little orange there, isn't he? More orange than usual. Probably because he's scared. I don't know, honey. So that is what's going on in New York. Attorney General Letitia James has done what she needed to do. She has put forth the lawsuit. This is a 222-page document. I'm pretty sure Attorney General Letitia James can back up everything that she's saying. In order for you to sue a former president, you got to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. They're not gonna come and just excuse me, y'all. They're not gonna come and just do something like that. They're definitely gonna do their due diligence. So, baby, that's what Attorney General Letitia James says she's gonna do. I call her the pit bull in the skirt, and she's definitely that because she don't play no games, baby. All right, y'all, grab your teacups. More front coming right up. All right, players. So we got more Frumpy Dump coming up, baby, because I got to tell you about the things that's going on with him today. So, Jean Carroll is planning to sue Frumpy Dump using New York's sexual assault law. This law was signed back in uh May by Governor Kathy Hochul of New York. It is called the Adult Survivors Act. And basically, with this law, there's no statute of limitations for you to go and sue someone. Uh, excuse me. This Adult Survivors Act will give adult sexual assault survivors up to 1 year to file a lawsuit, regardless of when the alleged violation happened. So, in court documents filed on Tuesday, uh, in her ongoing defamation case, as we all know, she brought this defamation case against Frumpy Dump back in 2019 because Frumpy Dump had said that she was a liar in front of everyone when she said that Frumpy Dump sexually assaulted her. She actually referred to it in a book, and I believe Frumpy Dump was asked about it. Um, and he called her a liar. So she brought a defamation lawsuit against him. So she filed some documents in court today. That's why we're learning about this. And her attorney told the New York federal judge that her client intends to file a lawsuit against Frumpy Dump as soon as the statute authorizes them to do so. Carroll can sue under the Survivors Act on November 24th. Now, Frumpy Dump is supposed to be heading to court with Jean Carroll in December. So, baby, he's gonna be busy. He's up his ass in legal stuff. So, y'all know he's gonna be doing a whole lot to fleece them supporters. I declare, allegedly fleece them supporters. So, Jean Carroll's announcement came on Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, which was yesterday, where she said she was going to be doing that. In an excerpt of the filing she claimed in her defamation lawsuit, Carroll said that she ran into a Frumpy Dump at an upscale department store in New York in late 1995 or early 1996. They chatted and shot together before Frumpy Dump attacked her in a dressing room. She said Jean Carroll said he knocked her head against the wall, pulled down her tights, and briefly, did that. And she swiftly pushed him off and ran out of the store. Frumpy Dump called her a liar in 2019 when she wrote about this in her book, and that's what made her file a defamation lawsuit. And in the court documents that she recently filed, He said Frumpy Dump remains unwilling to produce or participate in the discovery process. Who would have thunk it? But he better take a note from Alex Jones, dumbass. You better participate in the discovery process or you'll end up with a default judgment. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So, again, she said that he's unwilling. Her attorney said in the filing, Frumpy Dump remains unwilling to produce any evidence mandated by court. Uh, and Jean Carroll is ready to produce 30,000 pages of evidence requested by Frumpy Dump's defense. To date, the discovery in the above mission defamation case has been entirely one way. So basically, Frumpy Dump's attorneys are yet again proving how he got them from a Cracker Jack box because they are doing absolutely nothing. And again, this is a lesson that they could take from Alex Jones, who has a default judgment, who is crying outside of the courthouse talking about, oh, well, they're making me say that I'm guilty. Yeah, you are, motherfucker, because you didn't show up to court, because you didn't even participate in the discovery, and the judge ruled in the plaintiffs ruled in their favor, and they gave you a default judgment. And that's what's going to happen to Frumpy Dump if he don't start participating. And I mean, who cares? That's better for Jean Carroll. She doesn't have to go through a trial, and she gets a default judgment. Maybe they'll just go to the phase where they figure out how much Frumpy Dump owes her. You know, it's just ridiculous. These people are the leaders of just comply, just comply, just comply. But when it comes down to their shit, they never comply. They never comply. They never comply. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So that is the next thing that is going on with Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. And it is a doozy. Again, we're going to hear from Jean Carroll in December. So we'll see what comes out in the Washington Arrangement players. All right, we got one more Frumpy Dump tea, baby. And it's piping hot. Grab them teacups. So I made a video about this, but I thought I'd bring it here to the podcast just in case anybody did not hear did not see my video regarding the appeals court getting a slight win tonight in regards to the Frumpy Dump case. So the appeals court rules in the DOJ that the DOJ can regain access to sensitive documents seized in the Frumpy Dump search. So this three-panel federal appeals court judges, this three-panel, which two of them are Frumpy Dump appointed judges, ruled in the DOJ's favor to give them back their access to the sensitive documents that Frumpy Dump seized from the Roach that the FBI seized from the Roach Motel Mar-a-Lago, and which Frumpy Dump stole from the United States of America. So a federal appeals court said that they can regain access to roughly 100 documents bearing classification markings that were seized by the FBI during its search at Frumpy Dump's Roach Hotel Mar-a-Lago. In a 29-page opinion, the panel said that it agreed with the Justice Department that the federal district court in South Florida, Judge Cannon, likely made an error in blocking investigators' use of the classified records and then requiring them to submit the sensitive documents to an outside arbitrator for review. In the opinion, they said, for our part, we cannot discern why Frumpy would, they didn't say Frumpy, y'all know I said that, but y'all know, right now it just goes without saying, whenever I'm reading something and I see Trump, I automatically say Frump. I hope that happens to y'all too, so it could be a funny moment for you. So let me go back. For our part, we cannot discern why Frumpy would have an individual interest in or need for any of the 100 documents with classification markings. Classified documents are marked to show that they are classified, for instance, with their classification level. The judges also said that Frumpy Dump has not even attempted to show that he has a need to know the information contained in the classified documents. The judges also said that there is no evidence in record before them with the roughly 100 documents at issue were declassified. So again, we're back to the case where Frumpy Dump, where we're talking about declassification of documents. We're back to this issue again. We just was there yesterday. in Brooklyn in front of the special master, Judge Deary. But we're here once again talking about whether these documents were declassified. Frumpy Dump's attorneys, I'm going to reiterate this to you guys again, that Frumpy Dump's attorneys do not want to go on record and say that Frumpy Dump declassified those documents, because if and when they do that, they will have to prove that he did it, and they know full goddamn well that he didn't. But really, honestly, it isn't even a question on whether, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and this is going to get a little funky. Why does it matter if he had classified documents? The biggest thing to me is that he had the documents. He took the documents and they belong to the United States of America. He should not have taken them. They didn't belong to him. So why are we spending so much time worried about if they're classified or if they're not? I know that's a good thing for, top for the CIA and the FBI and all of them to know. But honestly, if Frumpy Dump had those documents in his possession, they don't belong to him. He stole them. He's guilty of espionage. He shouldn't have them. You know what I'm saying? So they should be, Merrick Garland, the Justice Department should be charging him for having possession of those documents. The fact that he declassified them really doesn't matter. He shouldn't have had them. They didn't belong to him, whether he declassified them or not. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Does that make sense, or am I just going off on a banter? Well, just humor me. If you feel like I'm tripping, then just humor me. I declare, honey. I deserve to do that sometimes. Let me play a little song. All right, so that was a win. Now, yesterday, so again, they have the DOJ has gained back access to those classified documents. It's roughly 100 of them. We're going to have to wait to see what comes out in the Washington Rancher regarding other things. The DOJ did not even bring up the special master situation, so they may want to go forward with the special master situation, considering how well things went yesterday. They may want to go forward with that because, again, they are really pressing Frumpy Dump and his legal team on whether he declassified those documents. That is a big question that everybody keeps talking about. It. You heard it here. You heard it yesterday. You hear from the DOJ. You hear from everybody. Frumpy Dump is running his trap saying that he did, but his legal team is so hesitant to put that on paper because they know that Frumpy Dump is going to have to prove it. And when he has to prove it, he's going to fucking lose it. All right, players. Y'all grab y'all teacups, honey, because we moving on. All right, players. So the next item on the agenda, honey, is the January 6th Select Committee. So I will let you all know that the January 6th Select Committee has said that they are ready to start. They're going to resume in their a public hearing. Benny Thomas actually indicated on yesterday. He confirmed that the panel is still on track for a public hearing on September 28th at 1 o'clock p.m. I'm hoping that I can go live and we can watch it together, but I don't know if I will be. But y'all know I'm gonna come back and spill that tea, honey. So that is what's going on there. But we have a surprise guest uh, that's going to be questioned by the January 6th Select Committee. You guys are gonna be very surprised to hear this. This actually just came down the pipeline. Ginni Thomas. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So I guess Ginni Thomas said, let me go ahead and comply, honey, because after her attorney answered that last letter and was talking about what business do y'all have with Ginni Thomas? What business do y'all have talking to her? What does she have to do with this? And Liz Cheney came back and looked that camera square in the eye and said, look, Ginni, if you don't do that, we're gonna subpoena your punk ass. So you better come on down here and tell us why was you sending them emails. So Ginni Thomas' attorney actually responded and said that she will testify. He said, as she has said from the onset, Ms. Thomas is eager to answer the committee's questions to clear up any misconceptions about her work relating to the 2020 election. She looks forward to the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Of course, you look forward to the opportunity, Ginni, because you think everybody else is stupid. You think don't nobody know that you was up to no damn good with them damn emails and stuff that you was sending. What you was trying to do was coerce people into doing some old fuck shit for Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. We know, and you know what you were doing. But here's the thing: can the January 6th Select Committee prove it? I fucking think that they can. I definitely think that they can, and we're gonna definitely be watching to see what comes out in the Washington Rancher. Now, they did not give a definitive date or time that she's going to be deposed, but y'all already know if they put it out in the atmosphere, Double D Mother is gonna know about it, and Double D Mother is definitely gonna report on it. So y'all don't have to worry about finding out anything in relation to that, baby, because you know that I'm gonna stay on top of it. As soon as Ginni scurries her ass on down there to be deposed, whether she goes on by plane, train, or automobile, Double D Mother is gonna be in the midst, and she's gonna be in the number one more time to know about that. All right, players. So as soon as I know more, I'll let y'all know. Make sure y'all grab y'all tea and have a seat, honey, because we moving right along, and we moving right along kind of fast. I want y'all to get ready for the tea report, and it's coming up right now. All right, players. So the next item on the agenda is the Presidential Election Reform Act. That was passed at the House today. Let me get that on up on the screen so y'all can see what it was passed by. And we're gonna talk about this presidential. Now it's really sad. It's really sad that we are in a state that the House has to pass a bill in an effort to prevent presidents from trying to overturn elections. And that would have never happened if we would have never had Frumpy to the motherfucking dump in the freaking presidency. So the House voted Wednesday to pass an electoral reform bill that seeks to prevent presidents from trying to overturn election results through Congress. The first vote on such an effort since the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol by Frumpy to the motherfucking dump, the insurrection. So it passed at a was it 229 to a 203 vote. 9 Republicans actually crossed party lines. House Republicans actually crossed party lines to vote with the Democrats. Of course, we have Liz Cheney, Adam Kissinger, and several others that passed over. But those are the two names that I always mention. Of course, Liz Cheney, we know she's on her way out in November. And so is Adam Kissinger. They're both leaving office. I believe Adam Kissinger is leaving in November as well. So let's talk more about this. So again, it passed at a 229 to 203 vote with 9 Republicans breaking ranks and joining Democrats. The Presidential Election Reform Act was written by Liz Cheney and Zoe Lofgren is a Democrat from California. Of course, we know Liz Cheney is a Republican from Wyoming, and it explicitly states that the Capitol attack is the reason to amend the Electoral Count Act of 1887 to prevent other future unlawful efforts to overturn presidential elections and also to ensure future peaceful transfers of presidential power. Liz Cheney said on the House floor, legal challenges are not improper, but Frumpy to the motherfucking dump refusal. She didn't say that. I said that. Frumpy to the motherfucking dump refusal to abide by the rulings of the court certainly was. In our system of government, elections in the states determine who is the president. Our bill does not change that. But this bill will prevent Congress from illegally choosing the president itself. She said this bill is very important and a crucial bill to ensure that what happened on January 6th never happens again. So the Presidential Election Reform Act would clearly reaffirm that the vice president has no role in validate. This is so fucking sad. I don't know if y'all listening to this. The Presidential Election Reform Act would clearly reaffirm that the vice president has no role in validating a presidential election beyond acting as a figurehead who oversees the counting process, barring that person from changing the result. It also would expand the threshold necessary for members of both chambers to object to states results, as well as clarify the role of the governors play in that process. Finally, it would make clear that the state legislature can't change election rules retroactively to alter the result. This is so sad that this had to happen. And again, I'm going to say that this only happened because of Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. That is so sad. Did you hear what I just said? Vice president has no right to object to elections results. He can't change anything. This is in direct result to what Frumpy Dump did, and this is already in there, but it's supposed to reaffirm that the vice president has no role in validating the presidential election beyond acting as a figurehead who oversees the counting of the process. This is so sad that this is where America is. You know what I'm saying? If I was a Republican or a Magamite and I was hearing this, I would be like, damn, they got to go in and reaffirm and change things. Of course, I would be a logical Megamite. Is there a logical Megamite? I don't think so. So let me take that out. If I was a member of the GQP, I would definitely I would definitely be like, oh my God, this is absolutely insane. You know what I'm saying? But if they looked at the insurrection on January 6th and they didn't say that was absolutely insane, then they would definitely not look at this. Like I said, I would be a logical uh, uh, GQP member if I was to ever be one of those, which would be never. All right, players, honey. So that's what's going on with that. Of course, we know Charles in charge. I don't know if he's gonna bring it down to the House floor, and I also, excuse me, the Senate floor, and I don't know if it would pass when it gets to the Senate floor. It's probably gonna be DOA, but it's nice that the House Republicans are doing something like that, especially before Liz Cheney leaves. Look, I'm not a Liz Cheney stan, but I really appreciate Liz Cheney for taking a stand and basically losing her seat at the table because she wanted to stand for truth and what was right. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate her for doing that. Again, I'm not a Liz Cheney stan, but I just appreciate her doing that. And I'll go back and say that I feel like part of the reason why she did that was because her life was at stake at that point, big baby. Look, you're not gonna play with my life. You're not gonna play with my life. That's what Liz Cheney said. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. All right, players. We moving right along, honey. Go ahead and grab them teacups because this tea is piping hot. Now, y'all know I love me some Jamie Raskin, okay? Y'all know that I love me some Jamie Raskin. So there ain't no way that I was going to let this episode float on by without me playing y'all this excerpt of my guy, Jamie Raskin, speaking his truth down on the House floor. I actually wasn't supposed to play the T report without playing this. So I wanted to play this. He's talking about the Republicans, which we've all talked about this before, but he just speaks with such passion. He's talking about how the Republicans objected to forming a bipartisan group to investigate January 6th. So Nancy Pelosi had to go ahead and form her own, and then they still weren't happy with that. I feel like he was speaking with Kevin McCarthy. I really don't know who he was speaking to, but I just want y'all to hear what he got to say.
Of the minority leader, Mr. McCarthy, and after we went back and conveyed our agreement to the GOP proposal, it was vetoed by the fourth branch of government. I'm not yielding now. It was vetoed by the cult leader, Donald Trump, who said he wanted no investigation at all. That's your guy. Donald Trump, he said he wanted no investigation. And so you pulled the plug on the investigation you originally advocated because Donald Trump didn't want it. Let's tell some truth.
Would you like? You're
talking about truth. I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the facts about it. And then when Speaker Pelosi said, well, in that case, the House of Representatives will conduct our own investigation, then again, you guys boycotted it because you wanted to put pro-insurrection members on the committee. And so we ended up with a bipartisan committee of people really interested in getting to the facts. And you know what? This is what you guys can't stand. America listened to it because we had real congressional hearings. Unlike what goes on here with the temper tantrums and the diatribes, and too often our side gets pulled into what you guys are doing, but we had real hearings. And 25, 30 million Americans watching because we told the truth about Donald Trump's assault on democratic institutions and the right to vote in America. And maybe you can't handle the truth, but that's the reality, and nobody has laid a glove on any of the testimony that has come out during those hearings. So we hear this absurd whining about Ray Epps, who has absolutely nothing to do with any of it, and all of these conspiracy theory allegations have been debunked up and down. Up and down. You think you've got something? You bring him in and talk to him or send us a letter or do something. But why don't you deal with the reality of the situation? Do you think that Donald Trump tried to get the Secretary of State of Georgia, a lifelong Republican named Raffensperger, to just find him 11,781 votes? Is that real or is that fake? You interested in facts? Is that real or is that fake? You think Donald Trump...
Are you offering to yield now?
Time of the gentleman has expired.
Okay, I'm just saying, I would like a serious response to our hearings because...
The time of the gentleman has expired.
If you want...
I love when Dick Durbin, he really didn't want to chime in and be like, damn, I got to cut him off. I really don't want to cut him off because he's telling the truth. I mean, Jamie Raskin is telling the absolute facts. 100% truth. He's always done that. I mean, we have to keep it a stack. Jamie Raskin is definitely, someone put in the comments, an American hero. If there was one person in Congress that I would give that title to, Jamie Raskin would definitely be at the top of my list. I really enjoy Jamie Raskin. He always speaks the truth, speaks with his whole chest. He does not apologize for anything that he said because he meant what he said and he said what he meant. And he's typically right on the money, spot on, especially when it comes down to this situation with Frump and Dump. We all know that they snubbed the idea of doing a investigation into January 6th because Frump and Dump wrote it down on loose leaf paper that he didn't want it to happen. And then after that, they all quickly changed their tune. I remember Lindsey Graham was one that said that he wanted. Kevin McCarthy was one that said he wanted. A lot of them said that they wanted to do it. But when Frump and Dump whipped out the dingy ass loose leaf paper, they started changing their freaking tunes. So I agree with Jamie Raskin. I love when he speaks like that, when he comes through in the clutch and he tells the truth. I love tell the truth to shame the devil. I definitely love when he does that. All right, players, now grab y'all tea, and we got another one coming up. All right, players. So as I told you all last week on Friday, we're going to talk about Tim Norman really quick here. Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Tim Norman was found guilty after the jury deliberated for 17 hours over the course of 3 days. They found him guilty of murder for hire of his nephew, Andre Montgomery, who was 21 at the time in 2014 when he was murdered in St. Louis. Prosecutors have alleged that Tim Norman executed this entire plot to get his hands on $450,000 in life insurance. So they said that Tim Norman hired an ex-stripper who was a stripper that he was messing around with, and another person to lure and Andre Montgomery to a location, and then they shot him. One person, Terica Ellis, the stripper, was paid, exotic dancer, was paid $10,000, and the guy was Travell Hill. He was paid, the actual shooter, he was paid $5,000. They both testified in trial against Tim Norman. Also, they alleged that Tim Norman did a lot of lying to get that $450,000 life insurance policy on Andre Montgomery. They say that he inflated Andre Montgomery's net worth, his job status, his health status, and he actually signed the documents himself, forgery, all of that to actually get his hands on this money. So he was found guilty on Friday. He's expected back in court in December to be sentenced. Rest in peace to Andre Montgomery. He was only 21 years old, trying to turn his life around, moved out with his grandmother and his uncle. His father had passed away, and he moved out with his grandmother and his uncle, Andre. Not Andre, but Tim, for a better life, because he felt like if he stayed in Texas, he was going to get killed. He actually graduated from high school and was doing good for himself. But some things had happened, in his life. Tim believed that he had broken into Miss Robbie's house and robbed her. So that kind of like what started this whole thing. So I'm bringing all this to the forefront to tell you all that Sweetie Pies is closing. Miss Robbie took to social media, and a lot of people are reporting this as if Miss Robbie is saying that the restaurant is closing forever. From what I'm reading, she said that it is moving. Now she still has a location in Jackson, Mississippi that is still open. That's actually one of the last restaurants that Tim Norman was opening when he was arrested. But the two locations that she had in St. Louis are now going to be closed. The one she had left was Upper Crust, and she's closing that. She took to Facebook and she said, "Thank you to all her faithful customers who have supported us over the years at our Sweetie Pies Upper Crust location in St. Louis. It has been a pleasure serving you. The Veterans Hospital is needing space to expand in order to continue helping our brave veterans. We will not stand in the way of their progress, so we will be moving in order to make room for the VA expansion next billion-dollar project." So it sounds to me like she's moving, like she's going to find another place, not just closing the restaurant. But either way, it's sad to see. St. Louis is a place where Sweetie Pie started. She had that restaurant. I actually been there before. Food was good. Some people say it's overpriced, but I thought Miss Robbie's food, I thought the food was delicious. And some people say it's over salted or not salted enough. I thought it was good. But anyway, so it's just sad to see Upper Crust closing because Miss Robbie was so proud of that restaurant. That was the one restaurant out of all the restaurants. If you ever watched Welcome to Sweetie Pies, that was the one restaurant that Tim Norman opened that Miss Robbie was actually on board for. All the others, she really didn't really want them. If you remember, she sued Tim Norman to get him to stop opening freaking restaurants. And I think all of them, except for the one in Jackson, is closed. And I think that's because shortly after it opened, Tim Norman got put in jail and Miss Robbie was running it. I hate to say it like that, Miss Robbie, but it's the truth. So the truth is the light, and I got to keep it a stack with you. So this is what she put up on the door, and it's basically saying the same thing that she wrote on social media. Then Monday, September 25th, the restaurant will be, that's the last day. And that's so sad because a lot of people will be losing their jobs and stuff like that. I just really hate to hear that. So, yeah, so that's what's going on in that case. Again, Tim Norman is going to be headed back to court on December 15th. And I will definitely keep you guys updated to what's going to be, what comes out in the Washington arrangement of that, as far as what his sentence will be. He's facing up to life in prison without the possibility of the parole. And Miss Robbie is 82 years old. I declare. This is so very sad and so unnecessary. All right, players, grab your tea and have a seat, honey. It's time for the last one of the night, baby. And I know y'all tired because I'm getting a little tired. It's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. Players, it's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. Oh, players, Mike Lindell. I declare, honey, what a freaking L. Mike Lindell is a permanent L. Like, y'all ever seen that movie? Look, movies. Have y'all ever seen that movie, Never Been Kissed, with Drew Barrymore? That used to be one of my favorite movies. I know y'all seen that. But y'all remember when she went to sleep with her, I think it was her fingers or something on her forehead, and it was like that permanent L. She went to school and she had that L on her freaking forehead. That's what Mike Lindell needs to do. He needs to put a permanent L, because I swear this man is a freaking disgrace. So let me tell you what's going on. So according to Mike Lindell has decided to sue the Department of Justice for seizing his cellular device, honey. Mike Lindell is upset about the fact that his cellular device was seized from him at Hardee's, and he wants to sue. He is actually suing the Department of Justice. So I'm just going to refresh you guys' memory on what happened at Hardee's.
Today, the FBI, you're going to hear this, and you're probably already hearing it in the news. The FBI came after me and took my phone. They surrounded me at a Hardee's and took my phone that I run all my business, everything with. They could have just, what they've done is weaponize the FBI. It's disgusting. I don't have a computer. Everything I do have that phone, everything was on there, and they told me not to tell anybody. Here's an order, don't tell anybody. Okay, I won't. Well, I am.
So he was going through the hardest drive-through and thought he was getting him a nice cold pop, a juicy burger, and some crispy French fries, and they ended up seizing his damn cellular telephone. That can only happen to Mike Lindell, honey. I tell you, he's the permanent L. All right, so now in this court filing where he is suing the FBI for seizing his cellular telephone, we have found out why the Justice Department is actually investigating and they wanted his freaking cellular device, okay? So according to this lawsuit that was filed, the Justice Department is investigating Mike Lindell, the permanent L, over potential identity theft and damage to protected computers in connection with a breach in the Colorado County's voting systems. This man is freaking stupid. You just got to be dumb to do some stupid ass shit like this. What is the oh God. Okay. So the warrant for the search, when they seized his cellular device, and Mike Lindell included it in his lawsuit, said that Mike Lindell is being investigated for identity theft, intentional damage to a protected computer, and conspiracy to commit identity theft and intentionally damaged a protected computer. The warrant was approved by U.S. Magistrate Judge on September 7th, according to the document. Law enforcement were required to execute the search warrant before September 21st. The magistrate approved the search and the seizure warrant on the basis of probable cause that Lindell may have violated federal law. Agents searched for records or information connected to the Mesa County election clerk Tina Peters' alleged scheme to breach voting machines during the 2020 election. Tina Peters, he did all this for Tina Peters, I declare. Tina Peters has been indicted on state criminal charges. That was back in March. Officials first became aware of the breach after passwords and hard drive copies from Mesa County voting machines were presented at an event hosted by Mike Lindell, the permanent L. So Mike Lindell provided his own evidence. Did you hear me? Listen to what I said. Officials first became aware of the breach after password and hard drive copies from Mesa County's voting machines were presented at an event hosted by Mike Lindell, the permanent L. These people, they're so fucking stupid. I declare. So that is what's going on with Mike Lindell. He's going to get arrested just like Rudy's, Tootie. I'm not going to say that, excuse me. Human Skid Mark Giuliani. He's going to get arrested just like him and all the rest of them that ran around here doing all this fuck shit for frumpy to the motherfucking dump. When in all actuality, they should have sat their ass down somewhere and ate their damn food. Not all of y'all being investigated. All of y'all, and y'all going to be the ones that do some real time. See, frumpy, he ain't going, Frumpy, he may do some real time, but them, Michael and Dale, Rudy Giuliani, all them little minions on the side, them the ones that's really gonna take the fall for this, just like those January 6th defendants who's going up in there getting all that time because they believe Frumpy to the motherfucking dump, and Frumpy ain't doing a goddamn thing for him, but calling down to a January 6th fundraiser for him and stuff like that. That's what he's doing. It's ridiculous. These tape sniffers, honey. MAGA mics. Y'all need to calm y'all dumb ass down. I declare, honey. What a disgrace. All right, players. So that concludes our episode tonight. I hope y'all really enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Make sure y'all follow me on all my social media platforms. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I think that's all of them. Make sure you guys are following me across all my social media platforms so y'all can keep up with the day-to-day tea. And make sure y'all come join me again next Wednesday at 10:30 Central Standard Time, where I'm spilling tea, baby, for the Real Tea with Double D. Make sure y'all thumbs up this video if y'all are on Facebook and YouTube and out there on TikTok and Facebook. Thank y'all for sending stars and sending gifts. If y'all did, I really appreciate it. And thank y'all podcasters for coming back every single week to download this brand new episode of the Real Tea with Double D. I really appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode, baby, because I know I did. All right, players, y'all have a precious night, and I'll see y'all next time. Well, I'll see y'all spilling tea on the social media streets. Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Real Tea with Double D. Remember to support by following on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And subscribe to the website to keep the tea piping hot at blackuratnews.com. That's BLAQ